So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. So welcome to this brand spanking new channel, ground maintenance channel. My name is Ross. I am the paysagiste de Normandie. So roughly translated, that is the Normandy landscaper, and I use that term loosely because I'm not a landscape gardener as such. It's just the way you have to register for a business in France to do what I want to do, which is mainly clearing work, hedge work, the ground maintenance and maintenance on property maintenance, gardens, etc. You have to register as a landscaper. So that's the only reason. And it's only a YouTube name as well. I mean, you know, on other social medias I go by my business name. So La Paysagiste de Normandie is just a YouTube name. So yeah, welcome to my channel. I've been thinking about doing it now for probably well over a year. I was going to start it last year, but I never got around to it. So I thought, right, boom, this year, January, I will start the channel. Sorry, I'm chewing a sweet. It's a nice little herbal sweet. I don't know if you've ever come across them before. That might be upside down. I ain't got my glasses on. But it's actually quite nice. I'm not into that sort of stuff, but my wife put it in my lunchbox, so I'm chomping on it now. So yeah, I've just thought I'd come into the van and do a quick intro video because it's pissing down the rain here, as it normally is in Normandy. Funny, I was watching Place in the Sun the other day, and they had this couple that was buying a place in Normandy, and it just made me laugh. It's you know, what do they call that word? There's a word, I've got an X in it. I can't remember, it'll come to me later. Anyway, Place in the Sun. It is sunny here sometimes, but the majority of the time it's not, and it's raining. So it sort of made me laugh a little bit. But there you go. So my work mainly is clearing, a lot of garden clearing work, brambles, heavy brush, hedge work, a lot of, it's not so much maintenance. Yeah, I have got a couple of maintenance clients, but I don't do a lot of maintenance work per se. Maybe, you know, there's a lot of people that have second homes here in Normandy, and you know, they could come from the UK, they could come from maybe Holland, they could even be in Paris. Where else? We got Belgiques that are out here, Americans that have got homes here, South Africans, you know. So there are quite a few people with second homes here in Normandy, so there's quite a decent market for looking after the properties when no one's here. And where I'm situated is right in the heart of like the beach invasion country, if you like. Area is probably a better word. You know, I'm in the middle of Bayeux and Saint-Lô. So Bayeux is very famous for its cathedral and its tapestry and all that, and Saint-Lô was very famous for being flattened during the war. So on the extremes we've got Utah Beach, which is about an hour away, and then you've got Sword Beach, which is probably about 45-50 minutes away, and then the closest beach to me is Omaha, and I can get to that in 25 minutes. So yeah, you know, you sort of that triangle, and you sort of bang in the middle of it. But wherever you go around here in this area, you're right in the thick of it, right in the thick of what happened with the invasion. And that's one of the reasons why I moved here in the first place. I mean, I'm ex-military myself, so's my wife, and we were looking a little bit further down south, but I wanted to do a photography project on the beaches and how they'd changed in 75 years. It was 75 years at the time. In fact, it was about 72 years at the time when we first came out and did it. But we were looking further down south for a property, and what we'd do is we'd look at properties down there one day, and then I'd come and do a project, you know, photography project on the beach the following day. So we stayed near Bayeux, and the travelling down to where we was looking and back, it was about an hour and 40 minutes. And I thought, well, you know, I'm getting a bit sick of this, you know, because a part of the initial reason to come out here was to run photography holidays. But we sacked that in the end, and decided just to buy a place here, and then we were going to have a gîte to rent out, self-contained gîte, you know, like a holiday cottage type thing. So that's what we ended up buying. We ended up buying 2 properties effectively, and we don't even want to rent it out anymore. So we've got like 2 properties which has been knocked into one. And I'm doing all that myself, so I'm renovating the place as well. So we got half of it is complete, we live in. The other half is just being renovated. But you know, I've got to do other things to keep my mind occupied. So we'll set up a gardening business, and it's been going really well. So we moved out here, well, we bought here in 2017 and we moved out in 2020, and it was just after the first wave of COVID that we moved out here. We were supposed to move out in the May of 2020, but because of COVID we delayed it until the October. My wife at the time was working in ICU, a nurse in the local hospital, so she was due to retire in the May, but she extended it because of COVID and how short they were. So we both basically finished in the October doing what we were doing and moved out here full time. I set this business up straight away, but initially I was like patio cleaning, render cleaning, window cleaning, oven cleaning, and that's why if you see me van, it's still marked up for all that bollocks. I need to get it off. I want a plain van, but my wife says, oh, you need to get this on there, you need to get that on there, get your logo on there, you know, people will stop you and all that. Well, I've had 2 people stop me because of the van in the last 4 years. Is it 4 years? Yeah, 5 years. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. She'll probably get her own way, and I'll get that put on. So anyway, what do? I've told you what I do. And what makes me different? Me. And the way I do things, I suppose. You know, we all have our own way of doing things. I've been watching people on YouTube and I've picked up loads and loads of ideas of how to do stuff. So hopefully I can put that back, and maybe, you know, even if one person manages to do something the same way as me and the same way as I do it, and it makes it a little bit quicker for them, that's fine. My equipment is more on the heavier end. So I've got like the big Stihl 561 for my brush cutters. I've got a 461 as well, and I'm going to be purchasing another 561. So I've got the 2 which are going to be permanently brush cutting, and then the 461 will sort of back them 2 up. And the reason why I've gone for the heavy stuff is I had lighter stuff to begin with. I had the Hondas, the 435 is it, and I destroyed 2 of them in a year. Just completely destroyed them. I went to a Husqvarna 543 as well. I was running all 3 of them at the same time, and all 3 of them just completely died on me. So I thought I need something that's, you know, like a monster. And I looked at the 450. Is it a 450 or a 455? The UMK, the Honda one. But I opted for the Stihl, the 561 in the end, and Jesus, you know, it's an absolute animal. That with the clearing blade, the Oregon style clearing blade, you know, the Bramble one, it's just permanently on there, that one. Like I said, the 461 backs it up, but what I do with the 461 is I use that with an Oregon jet fill, the old jet fill head, with the 4 plastic thingy-majobbies you put inside them, and that works quite well for lighter stuff. And then I've also got I've got a Grillo walk behind brush cutter, the Grillo CLM62 I think it is, off the top of my head. So that's got the 62cm blade on it, we know, with a swing tip blade. That's brilliant, that's fantastic, you know, for cutting grass as well. I use that. And then to top it all off, I've got a ride-on brush cutter, and it's the Iseki. Yeah, the Iseki 950, SRA 950. I am denied which one to buy, because there's the Orek is a decent make, the Atasia as well is a decent make, but there's all sorts, you know. And at the end of the day, it boils down to an engine and a blade, you know. So it's got the Kawasaki engine in it, which is the same as the Orek. I'm not sure what the Atasia's got in it, but exactly the same, you know. It's the same size blade, the same size engine, exactly the same engine. You know, that's the nuts and bolts of it, really, of what you want. And yeah, it does really well. Loads of videos on that. I use that at least 1 day a week. At the very least, I use that on 1 day a week. What else makes it different? I don't have any small gardens. I think the smallest garden I've got is about 800 square meters. Yeah, that is the smallest garden I've got. And my largest is 17 hectares. One of the local estates. It's a chateau that was sold off and split up. So my customer there bought the farmhouse and the majority of the land, to be honest. And it was proper overgrown. The chateau owner's husband died years ago, and so she took over running the place, and she just let it go. She didn't do any maintenance in the grounds whatsoever. I mean, now there's Japanese knotweed, which is probably about 4 meters tall, growing everywhere all around. Absolute nightmare. And there's just brambles everywhere. But I've been filming it. I've been filming me taking it all down, and I'm probably on my last field of brambles at the moment. And then she's got like this wooded area. There's like a forest. It's about 15,000 square meters of forest, which has got a lake around it, and she wants all that sorting out as well. And it's just covered in brambles. It's covered in brambles, and it's covered in laurel. Yeah, I mean, you go back to the chateau, and there's laurel all around the chateau. Really nice trees and everything, which have been well maintained, apart from 5 years ago. And then when you get into this forest, there's just laurel trees everywhere in the forest, you know, all amongst the beech trees and the ash trees and the oaks. Laurel, you know, and it's just gone absolutely mental and wild everywhere. So, you know, I said to her, look, it all needs to be tamed, it all needs to be cut down, it all needs to be taken out. So that's a massive job that will keep going. So I do that job every single Monday for a full day. And then I've got another 5, I think it is. I've got 5 clients that I go to for a full day. So it basically takes up. I only work 4 days a week. I work a Monday to a Thursday. I don't work on a Friday. So I have it's 6 clients. So yeah, 6 clients in total I've got that want me for a full day. So that takes up one is every week, and the other 5 are every 2 weeks. So basically, for every 1 week is full, and then 2 days of the following week is full, which leaves me with 2 days. And it's been like that all over the winter this year, which is really good. So I'm at the stage now where once we come round to March and my mow, blow and goes kick in, you know, I've got 2 days worth of them. I said, I'm full. I'm full till October. So I'm just trying to get on with all of this crap. Not crap, but all these one-off jobs that you do over the winter. So all the hedges at the moment. I mean, at the moment, you'll see the video on it. I wouldn't even want to call it a hedge reduction or a hedge rejuvenation. It's not like that, really. It was just a load of bollocks growing through a bush, going through a hedge. And I've just taken it all out and cut the hedge down a bit. And I mean, the hedge is in shit state. Let me just crunch on this. The hedge is in actually shit state. So we're just tidying up a little bit, and yeah. But it's actually at one of my mow, blow and go jobs. They tend to want a little bit more every now and again. And I know I said 800 metres. Yeah, this is actually the smallest garden that I've got as well. It's not a very big garden, but it's an awkward garden. You know, it should be done in 10-15 minutes, but it seems to take about an hour because it's just undulating and it's just all over the place. And that's one of the reasons why I don't have a lawnmower. Complete waste of time. There are no lawns here; they're all fields, you know, and they're just not level at all. I use a lawnmower on my own grass, but I don't tend to use a lawnmower on anybody else's grass. I tend to use my walk behind my Grillo, my brush cutting Grillo. That's really good on cutting grass as well. But I've also got a Honda Pro, which I use, the 356. Is it 356? Yeah, I've got that, which I use walk behind, and I've got a Ride-on Husqvarna Rider, which is a mulcher. I tend to mulch everything. You know, every cut I mulch. Don't collect. The gardens are humongous, you know, and it's just it's a waste, you know, it's a waste of time trying to, you know, collecting it, and, you know, I just can't be bothered with all that. But, you know, some people want you to collect, so I collect, and because they want it for their compost piles, you know, so I do it then. But on the whole, I tend to mulch after about May, June time. But yeah, I'm at my grass, I just mulch the whole lot. Never collect it. Mulch the whole lot. So yeah, hopefully I'm going to try and put out maybe at least one video a week. But what I want to do is I want to put the main video out, and I'll just before that I'll probably put a short out as well, you know, and then the short will sort of introduce the video that's coming out. But I also want to do ASMR videos as well, so if you like to watch 30 minutes of rotivating or 30 minutes of grass cutting with all the sounds that go on around it, or 30 minutes of brush cutting, then yeah, you know, that's what that'll be all about. I never thought I could watch anything like that, you know. And the first time I watched an ASMR video was a guy bricklaying, and I don't know what it is, you just tend to be drawn to it, don't you? It's really weird. And I watched a guy brush cutting, patio cleaning. I think he was Bournemouth Jet Wash or something like that, I'm not sure, but I watched him, and I was just mesmerised by what was going on. It's so satisfying, isn't it, watching it? And I like to see, you know, like back gardens, backyards, what have you, being completely cleared, and before and afters. But I like to see it all happening in, you know, if it's in time lapse or something like that. But I do know there's people out there that like to watch in real time as well. So I've got a couple of them. I've got a few of them recorded already, and we'll see how it goes. It might work, it might not. But anyway, so hopefully you can follow along on my projects and my journeys, and we can all sort of learn together, can't we? So yeah, I thought it was a bit about time I participated fully in this YouTube community. So yeah, hopefully I'll do someone some good. So, you know, if you want to have a look at my videos, have a look. If they come up on your feed, have a look at them. If you don't, scroll on by. You know, not bothered. I'm going to keep putting them out, even if I only get two views a week, 2 views a month. I'm still going to keep putting them out, because you never know, one day I might get 3 views in a month, or even 4. So yeah, I hope you enjoy what you see. I'll do all the usual stuff, you know, and tour, talk about pay, do some van chats, you know, just sit in the van and do some chats. I might also do a few chats in my workshop as well, because I do all my own servicing and stuff, you know, and repair everything myself. Too expensive to get it done. So yeah, I might do a workshop chat. So workshop chat, van chat. Sounds good, doesn't it? We'll see. Anyway, hopefully we'll see each other again later on down the line. Nice one. See you later.